Hi everyone, I'm Per Witalisson, CEO of Eolus. Thank you for the opportunity to present Eolus and our business. This first slide is from our project Stigafjellet in southwestern Norway that we completed last year. I think this is a good illustration of the power of the renewable energy. These wind turbines, they have a rotor size, a rotor diameter of 130 meters. That means that the swept area of each turbine is about 13,000 square meters. That is about double the size compared to wind turbines 10 years ago. But already in 2023, we will construct and complete turbines with 170 meter rotor diameter. That means that we will add another 10,000 square meter to each turbine in the swept circle that we harvest wind from and convert into renewable electricity. Most people and consultants and scientists agree that we will need a lot more renewable energy for the very important transition towards a sustainable future. The technological development will certainly help us in that endeavor. We will not only see electricity from renewables replacing fossil-based electricity production just because it's cheaper, but we will also see a lot of electricity from renewables used for input in industrial processes and for production of e-fuels. Eolus is a developer of renewable projects. We develop greenfield projects. We take them through permit process. We do all the procurement, optimization of the projects. We construct the projects and we sell them to investors. And once they are in operation, we also take care of asset management and operate the projects both commercially and technical over many years. We've been in business since 1990, so more than 30 years in the industry. We have so far constructed more than 650 wind turbines, and we have, as of today, more than 900 megawatt under asset management, and we will add 400 more megawatt this year when our large Norwegian project Øyfjellet will be completed, and we have also secured more contracts for the projects that we will construct during 2022 and 2023. We obviously come from the technique of onshore wind because it's the most mature technique, but we are agnostic when it comes to what renewable technology to use. We should always have the project with a technique that gives the lowest cost of energy at each point in time and at each market, and the possibilities for the different technologies differs a lot between different markets, and the resources being wind or sun differs a lot between different markets. So therefore, we're also active in the offshore wind with some projects in the Nordic countries and in the Baltic Sea, and especially in Sweden in the decades to come to replace nuclear. It will be definitely needed a lot of offshore wind. We have an increasing portfolio of solar PV projects. They are mainly located in southwestern US, in California, Nevada, Arizona, but also in our European business now, especially in Poland. We will see a lot of solar PV projects in our upcoming portfolio. We're also active within energy storage, as there will be more renewables in the mix of electricity. There will be higher demands for storage. In the Nordic countries, we're very blessed, of course, with hydro power for balancing services and for short and long-term storage. But in many other markets, there is a huge demand for storage, and that will just increase as the penetration of renewable increases. When it comes to markets, we're obviously coming from Sweden and have the basis of our portfolio there, but we're active in the Nordic countries, and in the Baltic states and in southwestern US. And this spring we just announced that we are entering the Polish market. And the reason for entering Poland is that it's a large country with a huge need for transformation, large dependency on fossil-based electricity production, and a huge need to transform that, and a political decision to phase out the coal mines until 2049. Looking at some figures to the bottom left, last financial year we had a turnover of about 2.5 billion SEK and a net profit at the bottom line of about 200 million SEK. The Eolus share is listed at the Nasdaq exchange in Stockholm, and we have about 38,000 shareholders. Looking at some of our recent projects and achievements, in May we could announce that we had successfully completed our first US project, the Windwall project, and delivered that to the investor Cubico Sustainable Investment. This project is a repowering project, and it's also based on a PPA with Amazon Web Services, and I'll come back to that a little later. As a developer, we are largely dependent on our project portfolio and our project pipeline, and during June we acquired 2 projects of 359 megawatts in Sweden in total. It was a project consisting of 2 sites that we acquired from RWE, located in the price area SE3 in the mid of Sweden, and a 260 megawatt project in close to Sundsvall in SE2, which we acquired from Enercon. Both these projects are fully permitted, and we expect to be able to construct and complete them during 2023. The Storsjönsjön project, the 260 megawatt project, we acquired jointly with Hydro, and Hydro will also supply a 12-year PPA for that project. And here are some of the projects that we have under construction, and some of the most recent projects just completed. And if we look at the bars to the bottom left, that is historically what Eolus have constructed in number of wind turbines and in megawatt. And we see that this trend increases. We see more and more megawatt per year, and also that the megawatts are increasing more than the number of turbines. And if we look at statistics and forecast, we also see that production from each turbine also increases going forward. So we will definitely in the coming years see a largely increased electricity production from wind in Sweden and in many markets. And the same goes, of course, for solar PV in many other markets. The midterm success for Eolus is very much dependent on how successful we are with our portfolio in late stage development and what we have under construction. So if you're investing in Eolus, you should keep an eye out for what we are communicating about these projects. And as you see, there's still a lot of wind power projects at this late stage, but they are now spread over several markets, and there will be an increasing share of solar PV projects and energy storage projects. And normally those PV projects and energy storage projects also have a shorter lead time for development and construction compared to the quite long lead times that are for permits and etc. and construction for wind power projects. Looking at the total 9 gigawatt portfolio, you can see that we have the majority of it still in Sweden, over 4,000 megawatts, but that US is where we have is our second largest market in terms of megawatts. The sizes of the projects in US are quite large compared to Nordic or European conditions. And in the upper mid, you can see the portfolio split between the technologies, two-thirds of it being onshore wind, but both offshore solar and storage will increase as share of the total portfolio going forward, definitely. A selection of our completed transactions and completed and ongoing transactions and projects. We see two major trends and have seen two major trends in the recent years, and that continues to be strong. That is the importance of long-term PPAs for projects when they are growing in size. They can affect the power market in a total different way compared to what older, smaller projects did. So we see a strong continuing trend with especially corporate PPAs. The tech companies were early out to supply their activities with green electricity and to reduce their carbon footprint. But we see now a trend where energy intense industry is buying from renewables just because it is the cheapest method of producing electricity. And that's a very important shift, I would say. The other trend is that we see the last years we've seen a lot of more financial investors and financial investors also investing alongside with the traditional utilities. And I would say that is a sign of trust that the industry is maturing and thereby is able to attract capital which have the very lowest cost of capital and thereby the lowest return expectations. That is really important in this very capital intense industry. If we turn to the recent figures, this is from our extract from our Q2 report, the half-year report. We had a turnover of 950 million SEK. We had a loss at the bottom line of 18 million SEK for the 6 month period. But we should bear in mind that this year, 2021, most of the activities within Eolus that will affect the income statement comes from the Øyfjellet project that we plan to complete during the autumn before the year end. So revenue recognition will be much higher during the second half year. We have an order backlog of about 4.4 billion SEK from projects to construct from now on and until the end of 2023. We have a good net cash position and an equity ratio above 50%. The Øyfjellet project is in the short time the most important project for our success, and as I said, we hope to complete it during this autumn, and it's a 400 megawatt project in close to the town of Mosjøen in Nordland, fylke, Norway, and it's comes with a PPA with Alcoa, where they will buy all electricity produced from the wind farm. And we expect an annual production of about 1.3 terawatt hours per year. And at last, our first repowering project in California that we completed in May. It's a 47 megawatt project where we replaced 400 old wind turbines built in the mid-80s with 13 new modern wind turbines, and thereby increasing the electricity production 4 times. And you can see in this picture the old turbines still in the background, and compare them to the new ones in the front row. So this really shows the power of the renewables and what we can achieve going forward. Thank you all for listening.